Check, check, check. I think I'm live. This is my first time broadcasting to YouTube. So if there's anybody out there yet, maybe you could give me a little sign. Um, if not, I'm just gonna keep talking and I'm recording everything. So either way, it's gonna get pushed out somewhere. It says that it's streaming. It looks like it's streaming. It says I'm live. I've been live for a minute 20. Oh well. Like I said, we're gonna go with it like it's going. Welcome back from behind the booth, friends, family, and listeners. It's been a minute. I feel like I say that every time, and I probably say that line as well. um, but I'm trying to be better. I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying. Yeah, Flotron's in the chat. Thank you, Flotron, for being here. I'm sure you will text me or let us know publicly if there's something wrong. Wow, autocorrect. Oh, well, Refade's in here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Um, yeah, so I was saying is that this is my first time streaming live on YouTube. Um, and I was supposed to have a guest here, but the guest lagged it, y'all. They stood me up. I won't name drop, but you know what? When they do show up to the podcast, I'm gonna tell them. I'm like, hey, what happened? How come you lagged on me last time? You stood me up, yo. But anyways, um, I, me, I like to be a man of my word. I try to be at least. So I told y'all that there was gonna be a podcast, and I definitely didn't want to announce that and then not do a podcast. So, with or without that person, I think we will make do. Cool, cool. Sorry, I got stuck. I got sidetracked with the comments. I don't know if I should read those right now, just because I know some people are listening. Um, let me check my phone real quick, just in case. I know Flotron would have texted me something if anything sounded wrong or something. But what I was saying is that yeah. So I like I said, I told y'all that I was gonna do a podcast, and just because a person didn't show up, I thought to myself, you know what? Let's just keep do it. Let's just keep doing it. We'll make it up as we go. I know it's been a while since I've talked to y'all, and I think it's good that it's kind of been a while, so I have an opportunity to talk to y'all, and I have a lot to say. I think, I think I have a lot to say. I do have a lot to say actually. So this will be good. Good for me. Good for y'all. I feel like you guys don't get to hear just my one-on-one side story. I'm always essentially interviewing people, but I think from time to time it'd be nice to just check in with you, you know, let you know what all I'm all up to, um, and just coming on here as a public diary essentially, but with DJ stuff, DJ everything DJ related. Um, I think that would be great. Cool. So let's continue. So let's see. I think the last time that we had talked, I talked to Ali Rock, and that was for her birthday celebration. Um, she also had me play at her event, Lovers and Friends event, which is an R&B night. That was cool. That's in Santa Ana. Shout out to all the DJs on that lineup. That was pretty fun. Definitely played some R&B. You know, nothing too crazy. I don't remember anything like super unique happening except no. I was gonna say except something, but no, there wasn't really. Also, um, let's see what else is there that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about some things specifically, but I'm trying to, ease into it. I don't want to rush into it. We don't got. I don't know about y'all. But I don't really have anywhere to be. Story time, redemption. I read Mr. Flotron's comment on the side, and he said that it's basically a extended or story time redemption, and he's referring to Twitch, because I do have a little story thing on there, because I like to run my mouth, y'all. Obviously, um, no, but I did want to check in with some things that were kind of been on my mind. So I guess the first thing I'll start with, I don't know if I should start with it. I feel like maybe I should push it down. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna save it. It's a good one, but I will talk about the fact that, so next week I'm leaving to Miami. That's pretty exciting for me. I am. I've been working with this school conference that hires me. Uh, they were doing once a year, and now they've upped it to twice a year. I think eventually they'd probably do like three times a year. But it's a school conference. It's called Circle of Change Leadership Conference. It is a it's what it sounds like. So it's a conference with a bunch of students, and there's a bunch of information that is shared amongst those students to help them become better leaders. Better leaders for tomorrow. I've been DJing that event for probably, like, I think I'm in my 7-8 years. I'm sure Flotron will be in the comments and probably correct me. I know he knows when I started, but anyways, I've been doing it at least 8 years. And you know what? We could dive down that a little bit because I just, like I said, I haven't talked to y'all in a minute, but it's always nice to be out here when I am. So I actually got that school gig um, from, I was in college, and somebody that I had worked with on the campus would help throw that event. And their regular DJ had just graduated and pretty much was like saying that they were through with DJing. So then they were kind of in a scramble asking around for DJs. Found me because I worked on the campus. I was an audio visual technician at Cal State San Bernardino, but also I was DJing then too on campus. So people were, aware of my situation. Anyways, invited me out to the conference. Didn't pay me a dime the first year. I pretty much volunteered. Like, they gave me the rundown of what it was, and I just thought it sounded cool, and I thought that it was an investment. Like, I did the event because I thought that maybe something beneficial could come out of it, and hey, look what did happen. And actually, I'll get to like further explain that. So, anyways, yeah, it's a leadership conference. It's like a 3-day thing. The first one that I attended was held at Cal State Dominguez Hills, thrown by Josh Fredenberg or Dr. Joshua Fredenberg. But yeah, it's a really cool event. I mean, it has like a lot of guest speakers, motivational speakers. Um, they're talking to college people. College people, college students. Um, you know, Mostly like younger age, but it's not exclusive to that. There definitely is like, all ages there for the most part. And pretty much, so they have a schedule of like just things that are going on throughout the day. And in between, there's a lot of like, just kind of like some quiet time, downtime. And instead of having just like you leave the room and then you walk out and you go to your next little seminar thing, they have me there to DJ. And it really just livens up the crowd. So like whether someone is coming on stage and I'll like put a song on for them, or um, they'll have they'll have like games and stuff like icebreakers, and then I'm putting music on, or I'm constantly listening to like what they're talking about, kind of cueing little sound effects and stuff like that. Just having fun with it. And honestly, that's one of my favorite parts about it, is that they really do give me like full creative freedom, like, and I've been treated as an equal with the whole program, with the whole organization. I'm really not just a DJ there. So it's really nice. It's really, really nice to be appreciated and valued like that. So like I said, I started my first year doing it for free, and then eventually I started telling them like, hey, like I love the event, but I do got to get paid because this is 3 days of work potentially that I could be working, and I'm doing this whole thing for free, and it's just not adding up. So I was doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, um and yeah, like that's a lot of work, especially if it's an all day thing. From like, we start at 7 in the morning and then usually end at like 8, and then maybe Sundays it'll start at 7, 8, end at like 2. But regardless, it's long. Like I'm not DJing the entire time, but just to be there for those hours, and then when I am DJing, like to be there, full attentive because I'm listening, I'm actively listening. It definitely it's work, y'all. But anyways, yeah. So they pay me now. They pay me now. Like I said, I really am treated like an equal there. They are very open to like just information and feedback, constantly trying to be better, and I'm all about that positive energy. Um, like I said, they let me do the music that I want to do, and luckily, like the students. I say kids, the students are really open to that, so that's nice. I usually get like a lot of like just kudos from students, like, oh man, like you do everything, huh? Like you do old school, you do new stuff. Um, and I do. I try to diversify it so it keeps it fun, and but also I don't want to I like still kind of maintaining like who I am. Like I do the event, but it's all like in a reflection of like how I play. It's not all super like it has to be this cookie cutter type of format. Like I said, they let me a lot of creative freedom there, but also so it's originally was, well, the one that I did was in Cal State Dominguez Hills, and then later I would then get booked for their event that was in New York, which was really cool. That was my first time going to New York. Um, which is, it's a beautiful thing. Like my first time going to New York, and that was through DJing. And then um, I think it was the following year, or maybe even that same year later, was my first year that they invited me out to Miami. So Dr. Fredenberg, Joshua Fredenberg, he lives in Miami. He has a house or a place out here in LA, and also, but his main house is in Miami. So, he just naturally thought, to throw the event there as well. And yeah, flew me out, got me a hotel, paid me, fed me. Like, it's a sweet deal. I really do love that. And then, like I said, it's the energy and everything else that I get out of it. I've definitely learned a lot of things from watching those, watching all these seminars, and I love it too, because even though there's a lot of people that come on and they kind of do very similar messages to, as they've been doing, they always have somebody new on that lineup that I've never heard, and just typically just knocks me like out of the park, where like I think I know so much, and I think I've learned all so much from a lot of these people, and then they'll put somebody on where I'm just like just mind blown. Prime example, last time they had somebody that was talking about like money, and just really in heavy in that conversation. It's funny because I had just been researching that. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I was broke, y'all. As we kind of see, well, I don't say I don't think anybody's seen, but like, yeah, I mean, I was actually kind of broke during pandemic for sure. I was on a budget, and like the reason I point this out is because when you're in that situation, it really made me analyze and think about money a lot more, because when I had it, yeah, everything was all great, but what about when you don't have it, like when there's times like that? And who's to say that there can't be more times like that in the future? And so you want to definitely like best prepare yourself for situations like that. And I had money stashed, but like I said, I just think that there's a lot more that I could have done, or just been prepared with. So I was researching a lot about money during that time frame, and then to see that guy pop up on the conference was really cool. uh, so anyways, yeah, like I got that next week. I will be meeting with Flotron. That's actually how I met Flotron, at the Circle of Change Leadership Conference. um, and now he and I are like, we're pretty much go-to roomies every time we're out there. That's my dude. I hit him up probably like a couple weeks ago. I was asking him, I was like, hey, so uh, which bunk bed do you want? You want top or bottom? Just because we're just so used to it, but we're good. We're good roommates. He and I get along. amazingly, and then everything that he's gonna go to, or like video, what he does the video there. So anything that he's gonna do, it's kind of like I gotta kind of be there for the most part too. So works out great. Flowtron, love you, man. If you're still in here, what up, James? That's my dude, James. Shout out to James. James just popped in the chat. James had a scary incident recently, so we're just talking, so this is just perfect. Um, James is one of my good friends, honestly, like a little brother to me. I've known this guy since, I don't know, James, like what are we at, like at least like 16 years probably, I would say. I think we're like at 16 at least. Yeah, I probably met him maybe even more than that, probably like 17. Yeah, probably like 17 years I've known James, but I knew his family, and recently James was in an accident. He's probably like 24, I think 25. He's a young cat, young buck. But he's very healthy. He works out a lot, and I talk about this because he recently went snowboarding, and I guess had a really good day. I was talking to his cousin about it too. Your cousin Art told me the whole story. You can tell your side one day. Tell me your side one day. But anyways, from what I heard from what Art said is that James was snowboarding, like the whole day, having a good day, and then I think towards the end of the day, there was a big jump that they had all kind of been avoiding, and James hit it, and I don't know if he was going too fast, or maybe he just lost control, but one way or another he went up the ramp and then ended up falling like straight back down. So if this is the ramp, he's on the board. Sorry if you guys are listening. I'm now describing it like for the camera, but if you're listening, then maybe you just gotta watch the YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, James was on his snowboard, hit this ramp, went up, and then he kind of he fell straight down and landed like on his neck. Ended up hurting his spine. Was in the or still is in the hospital. Had a couple surgeries, I think, already. But I think he's okay. It seems like, from what I hear, he's okay. I haven't heard anything bad, but there was a chance of paralysis. Like that's how scary it was. So prayers still out to James for sure. James, much love, man. I love you so much, for real. You're my little brother. Cool. Yeah, I was trying to just making sure, checking the comments out. But yeah, so I'm glad you're okay, bro. It's scary though, it's really scary. And anyway, so yeah, next week is Miami. Also, next month is my birthday month, so that's pretty exciting for me. I will be, damn, I feel like I'm one of those people now, y'all. Like, I really had to think about how old I was gonna be. I'll be 31, y'all. I'll be 31. April 15th is my birthday. I probably will do a stream. I imagine I'll do a live stream the day before. Probably the day before, or maybe even like 2 days before, in case we're drinking, because I don't want to get too messed up, because I'll probably DJ Friday night. So I don't want to be too smashed and then have to DJ that night and be all trashed, or like just tired and hungover. So probably if I do that, it'll be I gotta get like a 1 day rest ahead. So maybe Wednesday, party on Wednesday, chill on Thursday, then DJ again on Friday. Gotta pace myself, y'all. It's important. Yeah, and I don't know exactly what I'll do. I'm still kind of talking a little bit to some peoples, but trying to see where I could celebrate my birthday. I try to work the little DJ insight for y'all. I try to work on my birthday as much as I can, because it's an easy sell. Like if you're having trouble getting people to a venue, It's a really easy sell. Oh, and like let's just say that the venue is very, focused on that. Like they tell you that they want a good DJ, but they want you to bring like 10 people or whatever. Then, the birthday thing is usually a really good, easy sell for them. Like if maybe on the regular you don't, have a really big following, but you're still good. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean you're not good. Just means that your friends are out of that age, or maybe they're not willing to drive wherever you are. There's all kinds of things that come into that, or maybe just the bottom line is they don't even party like your friends don't party like you party. Which I could say, I could say that for myself. My friends don't party like I party. I'm just playing now. But anyways, so yeah, it's an easy sell for the promoters, like, telling them, like, hey, I want to play at your spot. I got a birthday. My birthday is this day. I want to do my official birthday party at your spot, and I'm gonna invite all my friends. The guy's gonna be like, or whoever, the promoter's gonna ask you, oh, how many people are you expecting? Like, that's an easy, 20 people that you could tell them, and they'll believe it because it's a birthday. And then, if you're DJing, you can see what the perks are. But like, yeah, but I want, I want a bottle. I want whatever you want. Like a little section for my peoples, and they'll work with you. They'll do that, especially because they want, like I said, they want people there. So I'm talking to some places right now that I'm trying to throw my birthday at. I usually do it in Upland at Leo's Corner. That's a pretty good spot. It's a nice big spot, open format, music style. I like that spot to play at. So maybe I'll play there. If not, then DJ Mars is also talking to me, trying to get me somewhere in LA. I wouldn't mind that. I definitely wouldn't mind being in LA, but it's got to be. I told him, I was like, if it's gonna be in LA, it's got to be a cool spot. Like, I don't want to do no. I don't want to do no little rinky dink. It's my birthday, so I want to do a big one. And I got no gripe against a little rinky dink, and I mean like just a small bar. But for my birthday, I want to do it big. And on some regular shit, I would do a small bar any day. But got to do it big, big 31. So that's my birthday. I'm telling you, so things are just picking up, and that's also why I feel like it's good that I'm trying to get back in the practice with the podcast, because hopefully I can just, I can be doing this simultaneously while doing everything else. That's what I want to do. So birthday, and then the following weekend. Oh, this is also why I like to work on my birthday. So I like to milk it by, doing a party, like doing a club. If I could, that entire weekend, I would do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just milk the shit out of my birthday celebration. Like, yeah, it's my whole birthday week. And then the cool thing is I usually take a lot of that money and I go to Coachella the following weekend and blow it. I'm just playing. I don't blow it, but I do spend, you're going to spend money at Coachella, right? So, and then that's the way I celebrate. Like, not only do I get to celebrate and make money with my friends, but then at Coachella, like, that's my day off. Like, that's my weekend off. Like, that's literally my personal weekend off. And I just get to have fun. And I'm really excited about this year just because we haven't been in so long. I'll be completely honest, I'm not super sold on the lineup. Like, it's not my favorite, but I've just been cooped up too long. I've been, like I said, I was broke for 2 fucking years. Excuse my profanity, but that was real. Like, I was broke for 2 fucking years, and I'm not broke anymore. So I want to enjoy myself, and I've been locked away. This bird's got to fly, y'all. I got to fly. I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly. But yeah, so Coachella is that weekend, like the 20th. That I'll be at that, and then the following weekend is a wedding. And then I got a couple things in May. Lovers and Friends festival event is in May. Let me see. Okay, cool. I was just kind of keeping up with the comments. But yeah, so Lovers and Friends festival will be in May. Excited for that. And then let's just fast forward a little bit to June. So this is the I think this is the exclusive. I don't think I announced this to anybody just yet, but um, my season opener for the picnic is June 26th, y'all. So if you're listening, put that shit on your calendar, please, please, please. If you are available that day and you're in the area, you're local, please, please come out and support. It would mean the world to me. It'll be my debut of my. It'll be my official, summer debut of the picnic, and the picnic is my party that I have thrown already twice in LA. It's in the Arts District at this venue. Currently, the venue is locals only. And yeah, it's in the Arts District. And my party, I designed it to be a summer day party. So we've done like the day party, but we haven't done it with summer. And summer it's different, y'all. Like that's the reason why I wanted to do a day party, is because when you do a day party and it's in summer, the vibes are different. The vibes are different. The energy is different, and it's in LA. Yeah, it's different, y'all. And I know because I've gone to so many day parties, and you've heard me talk about day parties, and they're like some of my favorite parties. So when I had the opportunity to throw my own, I jumped on it, and yeah, I got a really good lineup. So I'll tell you I'll tell you the lineup that I had already talked to people, and so hopefully everybody stays with it and nobody switches things up. And then if they do, y'all, then that's on them. I wasn't a name drop for the person who flaked on me today, but if they flake on me in June, if these people flake on me in June, then that's on them, y'all, because this is out of my control, right? So the lineup that I have is, I'm trying to think of if I'm even on it, because I throw the party, but I don't necessarily have to be on the lineup. Anyways, right now what I currently have is myself, my friend Gravity One, DJ Ola. Now this one is to be determined, but I really, really would like to, and I'm going to really try to persuade him. Even though I've already talked to him, but he just said that he wanted to see when it was closer, so I have to ask him again probably in May. I think middle of May, end of May, I'm going to ask him, see if he's free, and hopefully I can get him. So without further ado, the name that I was talking about is Mr. Chalk. Mr. Chalk is from the Beat Junkies, world famous Beat Junkies. This guy, if you're not familiar with him, because I know that when I started DJing, I wasn't familiar with him, but this dude's a beast. He's amazing. World famous Beat Junkies Institute. He works at the school. I met him originally through Scratch. I've known him for years now. I mean, I've been DJing officially 10 years as of February. And so, I met him when I started at Scratch, and he's just dope DJ. So ideally it's that lineup, and then it would be Mr. Chalk, and then the final person would be his son. His son's name is Thurston. If you don't know, now you know. Thurston's the homie. Definitely got to have him on the podcast. I met him. It's funny because I known Mr. Chalk for so long, but then I barely met Thurston, like probably like 2016, probably 2016. So I haven't known Thurston as long as I've known his dad, but Thurston's nice. I really like I just like him, like in general. Thurston, much love, bro. Super nice person, very talented, very soulful, and those are my kind of DJs. That's all I like to bring, y'all. That's the only ones I want to put on, and people that I want on the lineup for my parties, Like if you're not on those vibes, then it would be very rare that it would be very rare to see you on one of my lineups, I would say, because I feel like all that has to match, and usually all that, fortunately, all that coincides. Like, you know, good energy, talented, um, hardworking at their craft, soulful. Like those are some of my favorite traits of a DJ. So, if you have all those things, then I got my eye on you. I got my eye on y'all, and I just, with the party, try to pick, you know, whoever I think is gonna create a dope vibe. So, I'll let you guys on some insight, and this is kind of cool because you get to hear the inside perspective of like what I'm thinking, as far as like why this lineup. So, and this is like some super top secret shit. I'm like wondering if I should even announce this publicly, but I will say, yeah, you know what? I think I can. I feel confident enough to say it publicly because, like I said, I've done. You just gotta have that confidence, within yourself, and know that just your stuff is safe. It's like there's some type of vibe where you think that someone, like whatever you say, maybe someone could like, try to take that. But at the end of the day, you got to be confident in what you do, and know that you do it a certain way, and not everybody could do it like you. But hey, you can definitely learn something from it, right? So with the design that I chose for this season opener, um, if you're not familiar with all those DJs, it's me, and then the rest of the DJs that I named. It's an all black DJ lineup, and this is no accident, y'all. Like this is strategic. This has been strategically done, because one of my favorite things about a lot about parties in general, especially in LA, and I've experienced parties in Miami, but I love the diversity. I really do love when. Oh, also Coachella too. I want to say like that's something that I just love the diversity. I love having different, a tapestry of people at an event. I love that, and I think that my favorite part about it all is that it's all because of music. I love that. I really do. Like having all these people that are so different, meet together in one place and be equally entranced by this music. And so, that's like that's one of my favorite parts about when I party, and I've definitely taken the time to sit back and think about that. And so because of that, because of me understanding that, I've incorporated that into the party. Like I want people of different ethnicities there. And so my friends that came to the first two, I have a lot of, ethnically, let me try to think of how to say it. Ethnically diverse group of friends. I do. But, even as diverse as your friends will be, there's still like that majority percentage of like kind of like what your friends are made of, right? So majority of my friends are still Hispanic. So, one thing, like I said, because I want so much diversity, um, and I want the diversity so that I can have kind of free range with the music. Like the more different people that are there, then the more open my music spectrum is allowed. You get me? Because if it's only, let's just say it's only like Spanish music, and because like majority of the people there are Latino, they're gonna want to hear, you know, uh, like reggaeton, like Spanish music, or maybe even not necessarily if they want to hear that, but they want to hear maybe some like influence by that. And I get that. And so that's why I want it to be diverse, because if you have a bunch of different people there and you're playing, what you want to play, because that's the whole purpose behind the party is like, yeah, it's a day party, but like the real winners are the real people that like are secretly, getting the high are the DJs. Like, and it's designed like that. Like I want if you're there in the crowd, I want you to have your fun for sure. But like truth be told, you come like third. because it's music. I would say it's music first. It's music first. It's DJ second, and then it's like everything else kind of. Like that's really, how the design of the party works. So that being said, I booked the all black DJ lineup for my season opener because hey, like I want more black people there, and guess what? I'm going to do that um, for like the rest of the parties and diversify it. And you know, there's a lot of cool events, especially in LA, that are going on, but a lot of them are very specific to their niche crowd. So if a if a black person throws like a reggae event, the majority of the people there are black. But you know, that person, typically the DJ, they would prefer it like if there was a lot of people, like just different people there. Like it's such a beautiful thing when people can enjoy your music, especially if you're in the culture. Like if you are, let's just say you're Nigerian and you play Nigerian music, and majority of the people that come to your party typically are all Nigerian, but then your party starts to get so big that like now you got everybody coming there. You got white people, you got Asian people, you got Hispanics. Like then that's like one of the ultimate wins typically for a DJ, because now you've just taught somebody about your beautiful culture, and it's through your favorite thing, through music or DJing. And now you get, like cool, like now your crowd has like broadened, and it's awesome. So that's kind of like one of the things that I'm kind of doing with the season opener, is that I'm gonna have, and that's the cool thing too, is that I'm gonna have still my friends, like my main community. Then I'm gonna have all those DJs community, interact with each other, and then just, you know, hopefully a lot of them stay, and by the next time, like a good amount of those people stay, and then with the new lineup, we got a brand new crowd, and that's how it's going down, y'all. Like that's kind of what's going on inside my head as far as planning the whole party out. I think about all that stuff because it matters, and I have core things that are part of the party that you know mean a lot to me, and so certain things got to stay, and but because of that rigor, it'll be a great time. Like I'm so confident in the fact that it'll be a great time, and the previous times already have been a great time. Like everybody talks about how fun it was, and so really excited for that. Keep a lookout for that, man. And imagine if I get that all-star lineup, for the first one. It'll be dope, y'all. It's gonna be dope. um you know what, and another thing, I think I talked to Junior about it like one time on the podcast, but just in case I didn't, a cool thing about what I'm doing there too, if I can actually pull it off, is that you know there's there's two big DJ schools in LA: Scratch, LA DJ Academy. Oh, maybe three. I mean, yeah, for like actual turntablism DJ stuff like that. Yeah, I would say two that I know of. That's Scratch DJ Academy and Beat Junkies Institute of Sound. And these are both two DJ schools, but they don't do anything together. They are like very separate, and it's you know and that could just be my interpretation. I don't currently think that I work at Scratch. That's a long story in its own. We'll have to talk about that sometime. But anyways, yeah, they don't really do anything, and I think it's kind of like on some McDonald's versus Burger King type of deal. They're like competitors, but they both are very different in their programs. So I would argue that they don't even really need to be, and some say that they're not, but if they're not, like they've said that they weren't, but at the same time, they're not friends. And it's like you probably could be working together. Like you could be throwing events together or something like that, right? But anyways, so here I am, like being kind of the mediator. Like I'm throwing my event, and I got DJs from Scratch DJ Academy and DJs from Beat Junkies Institute. And the cool thing is too is that like now potentially if the school, especially if the students are like kind of particular to one school, so maybe they're with Scratch or maybe they're with Beat Junkies. With at my event, these two schools are going to coexist, and like these people will network amongst each other and talk and socialize. And so for me it's kind of really exciting, and it has been something that I've already thought about, like just having these two schools meet up, and who knows, maybe it'll strike some or create some relationships, and maybe they do things in the future. And not to toot my own horn, but maybe it's because my event did something like that, like it got the community together. And that's, you all know me, like that's what I'm all about. Like I want the DJ community to thrive, and I want us to help each other. I want us to help each other to get along with each other. I think there's a lot of DJ beef, and I wish there wasn't, you know. And it's funny too because I've already seen some attitudes kind of change. In the beginning of the pandemic, I said this too. I don't know if I said it as a tweet. I don't know if I ever talked about it publicly, but like at least on my podcast. But I said that in the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of DJs that were like cheering for each other, like, oh yeah, like let's get through this, like we can do it, like let's support each other on Twitch, and I'm gonna share your stuff on my story, which I've never seen before the pandemic from a lot of these people. And I'm all about change. Like if you guys are changing for the better, like dope. So when I first seen that stuff, I'm for it. But in my head, there was a part of me, and this is just the realest part of me, but there was a part of me that was like, I hope y'all don't go back. Like I hope y'all aren't on some fake ass support shit, and then when this is all over, go back to your old ways and start like bashing on DJs for doing this, for doing that. So I feel like some people are back in that change, like are falling back into that rhythm. They're already getting back to like that negative energy, and it's unfortunate, y'all. But I like I said, I saw it coming. I saw it coming. Now, like I said, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and I did hope for the best, but it's unfortunate that stuff like that is starting to come around. But don't worry about that from my end. Me, I keep it positive. Like I said, I think that we should all be coinciding, and I definitely believing in that abundance mindset. Hold on, I got text. I just want to make sure that it's not anything about the stream. Okay, cool. Wait. Okay, yeah, cool. So James said that the live stream is working. Thank you. Oh, thank you, James. Um, yeah. So that's my plan for the first one. Is like I said, all black crowd, all black DJ lineup, and not all black crowd. It's gonna be a mixed crowd, and I'm excited for that. I love, and so this is what I was talking about as far as like being able to broaden like what you play. So if if it was only my crowd, then there might be only certain things that I could play. Right now, if there's more black people in the crowd, and you know they are vibing to something, like maybe I throw on some like Afro beats that maybe like the Mexican people don't know as well, or maybe I throw on like some Nigerian stuff, or just anything like that. And the cool thing is now, like, what was maybe a little like on the fence for people because of like the culture differences, now because of the diverse culture, you know, you can get away with playing that, and these people could have a great time, and people will like, if people don't like certain music at the party but they see other people that do like it and they love it, it'll make people think about that music. It'll make people double think about what's going on within themselves. A lot of times, I'm not saying every time, but a lot of times it will. You know, like if you see some people like getting hyped to something that you've never heard, and they're like really like into it, they're like, hey, they're hyping it up, whatever. Like a party is gonna be like, damn, what is this? Should I know this? Like these people are lit, and you know, that's you know, and then sometimes you just join in because you're like, you know, I don't even know this shit, but these fools are hype. I'm gonna get hype with these guys, and that's that's exactly what is gonna happen. It's like we're gonna have that freedom to go like more, more left than normally, and then that's why I want to diversify it even more after that, and I say this because I've been to a lot, like, I've been to a lot of parties where it's only like one culture, and you feel it's not very welcoming when you go to that, even if it's in LA and these people are like, we see each other kind of like every day, like different types of people. When the crowd is very kind of like one-sided, it can feel like that. It can kind of feel like, oh man, like I feel like an outcast, or like I don't know if if people are like, you kind of get in your thoughts like that. So to avoid all that and minimize all that, I'm gonna make everybody socialize with each other, and we're gonna all get along, I promise. And it's all gonna be because of music, y'all. So that's happening again, June 26th, season opener. Stay tuned for that. um I'm trying to see, this is the way. James. uh cool. So we're at 47 minutes now. First time streaming on YouTube. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about in particular. I mean, there's been a lot of things, but let me take a little second, y'all. Bear with me. Let me take a drink of water. Think of something real quick. Oh, you know what? I want to talk about I do want to talk about something that I thought about that kind of helped me today. So, for most of you, you probably know that I have a little mini studio. I'm doing air parentheses for those of you who are not watching, but I have a studio in my garage where I shoot my content. So, I shoot my live stream, I shoot my podcast, and I just set up like a mini backdrop so I could also do like photo shoots in here. And this is like this is a 2-car garage, nothing crazy that I have set up in here. But a lot of times the way that I was running things before, I was not pretty much like utilizing like efficiency like in my studio space. So meaning a lot of times it was a hassle to set up the podcast area, like this space that I'm currently at. It was a hassle to do things, and some of the hassles are, if you've never done it, like setting up a podcast, but if you, it's simple stuff, but doing it, doing it over and over again, and then just kind of having to like have a good amount of time before you actually stream, it can be kind of burdening. Especially there's other work like on the back end side, but so you have to, if you have a table, you have to clean off your table, set up your microphones, adjust your camera where it is, like make sure that it's level, open up your streaming, whatever you're gonna use, start your recorder. There's just like these, if you're gonna do a background, you're gonna set up the backgrounds, also set up like the YouTube, so there's a bunch of little things. And I'm sorry. I'm like I'm remembering things like as we go. Also, like because of the camera, the way that it is and the setup in here, it's a good size, but I also have a lot of stuff in here. So a lot of times I was moving my table, my camera, just kind of moving everything to readjust it to fit in the camera, and that alone is a hassle. Like to set up all that and make sure that it looks clean. Like right now it looks a lot cleaner. Uh, Now I'm looking at the little back, but I should have covered that. But anyways, it looks a lot cleaner than it's been for sure. And that's because I took some time today to actually put a little bit more effort. So what I did was, and this is something that can be shared with y'all if any of you are considering starting a podcast or anything like that. Um, what I did was because I used to do video in college, and it's funny how I barely thought about certain things that I learned from there, like now. But yeah, so I was in the studio cleaning, and I was just trying to think of like how can I make things a little bit more efficient in here. And so I finally got smart, and this is something I should have done a long damn time ago. But I put little tape marks. I put little tape marks on the floor right next to all the objects, in case I need to in case I need to move anything. So prime example, like I have a table right here. If I need to move this table, let's say I need to scoot it because it's in the frame for like when I stream, um, like on Twitch. Then the cool thing is whenever I want to set the podcast space back up, I can just move. I put tape on the outside of the legs, on all four of the legs. I put tape so that I just need to adjust the table back to where those tape marks are, and boom, it's perfect. I also taped off the front corners of the tripods for the camera. So same thing. If I move any of my tripods now, I know where it all is supposed to go, which is gonna make my life super easy. And I've been lagging on it for some dumb reason. Honestly, I just been lazy. But I'm glad that that's all set up. So, stuff like that. Pretty much, figuring out how to make the things that you like to do, and if there's whether it's a burden or something about it is making you not want to do it as much, but you really do enjoy it, then you should try to figure out a way to get around that or to kind of better that situation. Um, that's essentially what I end up doing because I really do enjoy doing the podcast and I love talking to y'all. And so, sometimes I'll listen back to my old podcast, and I love like to hear these conversations that I was having with people. And there's a lot of like good rapport there. There's a lot of just nice. There's a lot of nice discussions, a lot of informational discussions. There's comedy amongst the podcast. Like, me and my friends like to joke around a lot. So it's cool to go back to it, and it was motivating. To like, hey, you really do. It was motivating and enlightening in the sense that it's like, hey, you really do enjoy this stuff. So you know what's getting in the way of it, and me kind of figuring out that like, hey, like, well, this part of setting it up is kind of a hassle. Oh, also to that whole sentiment, which is also why it's being broadcast on YouTube as opposed to Twitch, because when I was doing it on Twitch doesn't save my videos because I'm not whatever partner. It doesn't save my videos, and also wouldn't push my content like to the front of their page because of how their like algorithm works, because I wouldn't have a lot of viewers for starting, right? And this way is so nice because I was having to record it from Twitch and then bring it into and then upload it to YouTube, and then output the audio, get the audio and output it via like the podcast, like just a podcast, I don't know, website that just puts it on everything like Spotify and everything. So now it's one less chore that I have because I can just do it straight to YouTube and boom, it's ready. And now the link's ready. The only thing that I'll probably end up doing, and I'm still recording it, is I'll probably be doing now with like the time that I just made up, like because of the other stuff. Now maybe I'll be doing like mini recap videos. I think that I should be doing little stuff like that, like little highlight reels from behind the booth, and throwing them on, being more present on social media with the Instagram and maybe even the TikTok. Like maybe even throwing, I see a lot of podcast material on TikTok, and hey, maybe we can get the DJ community, more of the DJ community involved. So down to try it, y'all. But I highly recommend that. So if you're in a situation, like I said, you like doing something, but there's something in there in the way that's kind of getting in the way, try to figure out how to, maneuver that and make your life easier so that you can do the things that you love more. That's my tip of the day, y'all. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good for doing, this on super improvisational, super improv, I guess. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. But yeah, I think that's it. Cool. So from behind the booth, friends, family, and listeners, thank you so much for listening. My name is DJ Wally. Hopefully we have another podcast sooner than later. Like I said, I'm trying to be on the ball, y'all. So stay tuned, and I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you all for listening. Peace out.